Hey, personal finance fans. I want to walk you through a simple budget tool that I've used over the years that have really made my finances easier for me. There's a lot of tools out there and all of them work, I'm sure, but this is what has worked for me. And really, there were two main things that I always wanted to know when I was calculating my budget. One, do I have enough funds for my upcoming commitments? My car payment, my rent, or my mortgage, or credit card bills, because I don't want to be stuck. I always want to make sure I hit those commitments first. And then maybe even more importantly, what else do I have that I can spend on things? So what are my non-commitments that I have? Well, how much money do I have until I get my next paycheck? So I know if I want to go buy something, if I want to go out with friends, or anything that I want to purchase, do I have enough money? And what is that amount? Because obviously, if you overspend on the second one here, you may not have enough for the first goal. So I've always wanted to make sure I hit any budget I'm working on. I know exactly what's going on and I know I have enough for my commitments. Now, there's obviously budget tools out there that, and you can use programs. I've used Excel in the past, or now I use more Google Sheets, but you can do it on a piece of paper. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to use the example here for Excel, but it's something that even if you just know how to use Excel or Google Sheets a little bit, it's really not too much more than just adding and subtracting. So you don't even have to create a fancy sheet for this one, but if you do, you can always make it a little bit better. But here effectively is what my budget looks like right here. So it really is kind of broken into three different areas. I have commitments on the left, my funds on the right, and then some calculations down below. So I'll kind of zoom here. This is where I write down different categories where I want to basically break down what I'm going to owe in the future. So for the first two lines, like mortgage and rent and my car payment, it's kind of broken down because I get paid twice a month. I kind of first break down how much do I need to spend to pull out of every paycheck. So in this example here, let's say that my mortgage or rent is $1,000 a month. So I'm kind of budgeting that I need to take $500 out of each paycheck. And the same then with the car payment. So I really, let's say in this example, I have a car payment of $500, but a monthly payment of $500, but I take $250 out of each semi-monthly paycheck. And then I go into my credit cards. Those are actually be current balances. So I'm showing on the right that credit card 1 balance is $350, credit card 2 is $200. I want to pay off my credit cards every month. So that's why that's the total balance right there. Then I have a couple sinking funds. So I want to save some money for a vacation or a new car. And what I want to do is every paycheck, I want to put $150 and $400 each on there. And then finally, my emergency fund is something that I have that has more like long-term mortgage or car payment in case I lost my job. I have a $10,000 balance for that one right there. So the example then would be that right now I'm in the middle of the month. So for my mortgage and rent, my half month is $500 and I've already put $500 aside. So I've already been paid once this month, but I'm going to have to then save up to make my full mortgage payment on there. But altogether, when I add these up, it's $15,800 at the bottom. So that's a simple Excel equation of summing up all the values above. Not very difficult. You can just go Excel plus, 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 and it adds them all together for you. So in here I did a real simple one of, let's say I have a bank account and two savings accounts, and those are what the balances are of today, 1,200, 8,000, 7,000. Once again, the total is just adding all three of those up. Very simple, not too difficult for anyone with some very basic Excel skills. Now what I want to do is I want to analyze what I have. And this is only where it's going up above into the other boxes and pulling in the totals. So my total commitments are 15,800. My funds are 16,200. So it's showing me that if I take funds minus commitments, that my disposable funds are 400. So in a way right now I have $400 to spend on non-commitments. So this is where I kind of said that I always wanted to make sure I understand what can I spend money on today. So that's really what, looking at the commitments, my funds, I know exactly what I have to spend. So I'm hitting my goal of, I'm targeting all my upcoming payments, and I know what I have to spend if I want to go out for dinner with friends, etc. for this one. So this is how I would look a snapshot in time on here. So let's now kind of go in here and say, well, how does this really work? So let's kind of now start going through some examples through here. So let's say I'm getting paid today and I'm going to get a paycheck of $2,000. Well, first off, I'm looking at this right here and I have $400 left over from the last paycheck. So instead of maybe going to spend this one, I'm going to be the diligent personal finance person that I am. And instead, I want to roll up those $400 and put it into my vacation sinking fund. So Right now, where I have $2,000 in my vacation sinking fund, I want to make that be $2,400. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to what's cell D7 or the sinking fund 2,000 to 2,400. So I'm going to add 4,000 to that because I want to get even a bigger jump on my next vacation. And so, and you'll see then that now my disposable funds are zero. So now I'm kind of taking myself back to even. So now I'm going to get paid. So now let's $1 paycheck. So then how am I going to apply that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change, and a while ago that my bank number was $1,200. So I added 2,000 to that, and now it's 3,200. So therefore that's where I'm going to be showing that I look at my paycheck, I see that take home was 2,000. That's then when I change the balance. Now you'll see that my disposable funds now has grown from 0 up to 2,000, but that's obviously not true because now I need to adjust my commitments. And this is where everywhere I have an amount in the half month, so the 500, the 250, the 150, the 40, I'm going to take that number and I'm going to add that to the current balance. My current balance of my mortgage was 500, now it's 1,000. My car payment was 250, now it's 500. And the same for my sinking fund, for my vacation, and my car. And then you'll see now my disposable funds is now at a true amount. So now between now and my next paycheck, I have $1,060 to spend on other items. This could be utilities, it could be food, it could be going out to restaurants, it could be if I had an unexpected car repair bill, or maybe presents for a birthday party, or what have you. It's anything that's outside of this. So this is how I work on this one. Now some people might actually take this and put their utilities into their commitments if they want to get very precise with this one. If you have a phone bill or your Netflix, so you can actually get more detailed in your commitments if you want to. I've kind of over time gotten less detailed because I've gotten more diligent and understanding about that, but there's nothing wrong with getting more detailed on here. Example of what happens now is the month moves on, so I've gotten paid, I have a disposable income of 1,060, but let's say I go out and I make a purchase on my credit card. So right now my credit card to balance is $200. 400. So I went out and bought something for $200, and now you'll see my disposable funds now have decreased down to 860. So now because I made that buy, I know now I only have $860. So I need to keep that in mind as I'm going through my 2-week period before I get my next paycheck. Don't want to overspend, so I got to keep that 860 number in mind right there. Now another transaction could be, let's say I make a car payment. My car payment, it was $500. So what I'm going to do is up there on the car payment commitment where it was 500, I'm going to take it down to 0. And also I need to go over in the funds and change the bank one balance from 3,200 to 2,700. Now because this was a commitment payment, you'll see there, so there was the 0 and there then is the 2,700. My disposable fund stays the same because that has nothing to do with the commitment payment. So I still have $860 that I want to spend on other items. So this is really how these transactions will work over time. If I make a mortgage payment, I'll make that then be 0 and I'll take $1,000 out of my bank. If I move money from my bank to my savings, I adjust those as well. So the good thing about this is I always know that I have enough money for my commitments, and I'll know that how much money I have to spend on disposable funds. Well, anyway, guys, I hope that was some understanding of how I budget my money. Curious, what do you think about that? Would this help you? What tools do you use? What spreadsheets do you use? Have you created yourself? Would something like this work for you? I'd love to hear some information from you, so comments below, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't, even though I hope there's not too many of those. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to do a quick video just to kind of show how I do my budget, and it might be something that could help you as well. Have a great day.